Hello and welcome to Story X Story, the podcast by Maya Mada that dives deep into stories across pop culture, brings you closer to the people who make them, plus gives you advice on creating your own. It's episode 239. It's a brand new season, and I am your co-host, Nigel.
I am Tazziii, content creator and co-host.
And as always, we're bringing you interesting discussions with diverse voices. And to help us out today, as we talk about the life of the average racing car driver, if Brad Pitt is average, it is content creator, YouTube, and TikTok partner Mav. Mav, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm not doing too bad. How are you?
Cool. Yeah, I'm okay. We're getting through the start of a new season. I feel we've kept the. I'm always on blooper alert when we do a new season. So far so good, but we just started.
Right, be prepared. Be prepared.
Yeah. But yeah, no, welcome. And first time on the show, we have another first timer, so I can introduce former and maybe future film director and current inventor, Jabril Muse. Jabril, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. This is my first ever podcast, so it's a bit of a special moment.
Cool. I've roped in a friend to join us on a podcast because as a story creator, good insight, and also because I like roping people into things. So welcome, and yeah, it'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's and if not, that is what editing is for. So no one will ever know. You can subscribe to Story X Story wherever you get your podcast from. That includes Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube. You can also send us your feedback and questions in a variety of ways. You can chat with us in the Studio 77 Discord. You can email us, studio77@mymatter.com, or you can throw your thoughts at us on social media and we might just listen. We are at mymatter on Twitter, at mymattertv on Instagram and TikTok, and at mymatter.com on Blue Sky, or at Life with a W Gamer on Instagram and TikTok, and at Tazziii on everything else. You can also head to mymatter.com to discover the My Matter brand, including our universe of characters and manga stories, events and community activities, and the other shows that you can watch and get involved with as well. Next up, we have our Do I Look Like a Gamer campaign. So as you hopefully know, if you've listened to this before, we do believe everyone can play games, everyone can win in games. And our Do I Look Like a Gamer campaign is a yearly initiative showcasing 40 players and makers who prove that very fact. So we are all about capturing the diversity that already exists in gaming as a way to inspire the next generation of diverse talent. So whether you are just discovering games or you've been playing for years, you can get involved and help to push for more inclusive games culture and industry. So we are currently doing our Campaign 40 photo shoot. Depending on when you are listening to this, you can potentially get involved in the actual photo shoot itself. We're taking photos in London and the north of England over March. This is the 5th year of the Do I Look Like a Gamer campaign, and we've been taking photos of 40 people each time, as well as a bunch of events and activities, which we'll talk more about over the coming weeks and months. But we're focused on the photo shoot for now. So if you would like to be part of this year's campaign photo shoot, or you know someone who would be perfect for it, then you can head to looklikeagamer.com to register your interest. We are aiming to reach 200 photos. So with 40 this year, we'll get to 200 across all the years of the campaign. So we need your help. So step forward if you think there should be more of you represented in games, or like I said, if you'd like to nominate someone to take part, check out looklikeagamer.com. There's a button and a link. You can click a little form to fill out, and then we might just get back to you. Or you can email us, hello@looklikeagamer.com. So that's what we're working on at the moment. We've got the main story discussion to come, but let's get started with some of the other stories that we've been consuming recently.
We're going to have a spoiler-free discussion about what stories people have been reading, watching, or playing. And we will start with our guest. Mav, do you want to go first?
What I've been consuming lately, I've been watching a couple of TV shows and I've been let down by what's kind of like how the series are progressing. Start off really strong and then they slowly start to, I don't know, kind of fall off. And I'm getting really, really tired of that. You know, I've been watching a show called Poker Face, which was, I think it's on Now TV. It's created by the guy that did Knives Out, Rian Johnson, and it's got Natasha Lyonne, who is popular for, oh Lord, what else did she do? She did the really
Time
good
Mechanic. The
Russian
Time Mechanic
Doll.
one. There you go. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. It was good, and I was excited for this. And it was, she basically, her character can decide when you're lying or not. It's just like an ability she has, like her superpower. But it's a very grounded show. It's not like superheroes, but we basically see a murder, and then we see her figure out what happened, and it was really good. And then it just got a bit meh. Hijacked as
That's
well.
annoying.
Hijacked with Idris Elba. I enjoyed the first season, whilst it was not great. It was enjoyable. It was consumable. And season 2, it's just the same thing, but on a train. The guy's got to stop getting on public transport. You know, he's got to stop doing it. Yeah, and then some other bits. I've been watching some Studio Ghibli movies at the minute. Make my way through those, and they're always an absolute pleasure. But yeah, I've always got something watching, so I could talk for hours about this, but I'm more than happy to pass it on.
Oh yeah, I generally just like rattle off a list, but yes. Jabril, what about you?
To be honest, I'm only watching one TV show at the moment, and it's quite early on, so I'm not sure if you guys heard of Game of Thrones.
I have never heard of Game of
Never
Thrones.
heard of it.
Like
Yeah.
literally never.
Oh well, it's kind of like a niche thing, but they've got like a spin-off out at the moment called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, yeah.
So it's on the third
Okay.
episode this week, and I'm really enjoying that because it's Game of Thrones. Obviously, you can feel it, but it's got its own kind of vibe to it, and I would highly recommend checking that out.
Is it on level of Game of Thrones, or is it like, yeah, is it worth it basically? Because I've kind of written off like any Game of Thrones spin-off.
Oh, because of the dragons one.
Just because of the way it ended, and I like Game of Thrones, but just
right.
that it's still that's a sour taste in the mouth.
Yeah, this is clearly a story of its own. It's
Okay.
about a squire who's the knights who's serving it dies, and he claims that the knight knighted him before his death, and now he's a knight apparently. And so it starts off like really interesting. That's all I can say without like any spoilers, to be honest.
Yeah.
But definitely check it out.
Where does it line up on like the timeline of the universe?
I'm not like a massive Game of Thrones geek. Although I've seen them, I don't. Maybe there's not enough information out there, or maybe there are like a lot of Easter eggs and things that I'm not catching. It's not overt.
Yeah,
but is
okay.
it like before or after the main show?
Before, yeah, because like House of Dragon is like way before Game of Thrones.
To be honest, you're putting me on the spot, and I'm I have no idea.
Are you actually watching this show?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think I might have seen a trailer. I'm not quite sure.
Dragons.
I'm actually, I might have walked past the poster. I'm not quite.
Some TikTok teaser.
Yeah. I think I liked a comment where someone said it. So I've been catching up on some kind of like foreign films. Have you heard of Sentimental Value? It's like a film out.
I have.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Nominated for an Oscar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That one was a good film, and an Iranian film called It Was Just an Accident, which was also very good. That's
cool. Nice. Cool. I'll go into mine, and I've said I'm not adding any of the isekais I'm watching. Do you know what? If you want to know what isekais I'm watching, just basically send me a list, and I'll just tell you which ones I'm not, because that will be easier. So just assume, yeah, if it's an isekai, I'm probably watching it. So outside of that, since F1 was on Apple TV, I was like, this is a great opportunity to catch up on some of the series that I have been wanting to catch up on. Been watching Silo, season 2. I'm like midway through season 2 of that because I've already seen season 1 and watched season 2. I'm really enjoying Silo, and I'm like very excited to know how it pans out. And I do have some spoilers of it, and it's like linking the points to the points that I have the spoilers for, and it just kind of makes it more exciting. Do you know what? It's like, normally I hate having spoilers, but I think for me with Silo, because I love there's so many layers to it that I'm just enjoying seeing how we get to the stage that I'm watching to where the spoiler I know is, if that makes sense. Very, very much enjoying that. I know a lot of people have said that second season is slow, but I think it's just taking a pace that is required for the story to put puzzle pieces in place. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Slow horses. Oh my God, I love slow horses. And every time I think, there's not much more they can do, they do more. And Nigel, have you watched Slow Horses yet?
I was just thinking, I feel like Gary Oldman.
Yeah, it's a proper underdog story.
Yeah, I've not, but I know what it is. Because at first I was like, I don't even know what this is, but I have seen this.
Yeah, like it is a proper underdog story. I think you'd like it because it's like they're not just the underdogs. They're kind of like just no one expects anything from them. They're all it's basically a load of disgraced MI5 intelligence agency basically, and they're all the dregs basically. They've all done something to put them in this, like in the department that they're in as part of the slow horses. And so no one expects anything good of them, but they're always in the smack bang middle of like really wild stuff going on involving the British intelligence. So it's really fun to watch, and I'm loving how things are unfolding. Also, again, continuing with the Apple TV streak, Shrinking, watching season 2 of that. I love Shrinking. It's so funny. It's such a feel-good show that touches on some really deep topics because it is about what's the word? What's the action? Like a therapist. There we go. Yeah. And it's based like around this therapist helping his clients, but also he's experienced some deep trauma, and it's like navigating his trauma, his kids. Yeah, I love it. But it's so lighthearted while like being surrounded like really deep topics. Yeah, so really enjoying that. One of the books I read over like the Christmas New Year's period was Children of Benin Kingdom. This is a great book. This is a book that I read to connect with my heritage, and it's like a really nice. It's a really really good story about I guess like a couple of kids in their journey in discovering who they really are, and that's the best way to describe it without spoilers. And it's lovely and rich in culture, and just like really really enjoyable read. I was like, I burnt through that book so quick because it was just like a nice pace. If you like sort of like a journey type story, it's a good one. And then let's jump into the anime. This one, I'm so glad I started watching this one. Ameku, MDDoctor Detective. If you like good doctor and detective shows, this is the anime for you. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's really good, and it's like I think it's quite well like researched and grounded in like medical facts type thing. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're someone that likes something like Good Doctor or
House, that's why.
Yeah, and like, but or like, and yeah, detective type show. It's the one, and it's anime, so it's even more fun. But it's quite grounded. It's not like crazy anime level of things, unlike Fire Force.
Which
I've been catching up on.
Yeah.
Love me some Fire Force. I'm not quite at the season that's just started airing, so I'm still a couple of episodes behind. I'll be getting into that, but loving it, enjoying it. Really, the way things unfold in that. It's Spy Family, I've been watching that. I'm really loving the pace of it. Again, another one that people complain. Do you know what? I've seen some complaints that the story doesn't move forward, and I'm like, maybe you're not paying enough attention.
And that's probably the case.
Because it quite clearly is. Maybe because it's just not filled with like fight scenes all the time. It has some banging fight scenes in it as well, though. So anyway, great anime. And then the last one I'll mention is Yakuza Fiancé. Yes, I've watched it before. Yes, this is the fourth time I'm watching it. Yes, I will continue to repeatedly watch it until the mangaka actually writes the next like lot of books. Because why? Apparently, they people don't like it enough, and I'm like, what do you mean? This is amazing. We need more. You cannot end it. Like, I need to read the manga because I think there's 2 more extra books than the anime, but that's it. But I'm like, and some differences that someone has said, like, you're gonna want to read it, but please make more. I'm going to keep mentioning it. I need to do a series of talking about Yakuza Fiancé until the next book comes out.
Start a petition.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some of the stories. just a snippet into what I've been on. But yeah, so Nigel, what are your shows and stories and stuff?
Yeah, it's always a challenge when we come back to a new season. It's like all the stuff since our wrapped episode. So I'm trying to pick out a few things, try to get variety in here. So there's a couple to touch on quickly, and there's one I really want to get to because I need to vent. But Rick and Morty, latest season.
I'm definitely like 2 or 3 behind on Rick and Morty.
Okay, cool. So yeah, watching Rick and Morty, I really enjoyed it. And I feel it's got the challenge of when it started, it was like new and the type of comedy is different, and now we're used to it. So I don't know what the online reaction is, but I imagine it's muted compared to when it started. But I like it. I think the last 2 seasons I've enjoyed. I think the one before wasn't as great, but yeah, still the same kind of comedy. It's just that we're used to it. But I enjoyed it. I watched a film called Carry On. Has anyone seen this? It's a Netflix film.
Yes, that's the one with the guy from The Kingsman, right?
Yeah, Taron Egerton.
Oh, T-Dog!
Yeah, and Jason Bateman.
Sorry, that was a nickname that I personally gave him, and he has no idea about.
T-Dog.
T-Dog. Yeah, no, I was on the one about Elton John, and me and one of the girls I was working with decided we was going to call him T-Dog.
Oh, and just to clarify, when you say on, you are in the film.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Just making sure people got that. Oh, cool. All right,
so yeah, sitting on the DVD. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, well, I call him Taron because we don't have
that's
that
probably
kind of
his preferred name. Yeah, I don't either. That was
but no, it's good. It's good. I watched this over the holidays at some point, and so it's about a TSA agent. So if anyone's been to security through an American airport, the transport security, I assume agencies, but yeah, he's a worker. Jason Bateman is the bad guy, and yeah, those two kind of carry the film forward. I found it really enjoyable, fairly straightforward kind of plot, but yeah, enjoyable, kind of what I needed. Jason Bateman is great as well. They're both great. I like them both. So that was enjoyable. I just finished His and Hers, another this is a Netflix series. If anyone has seen this, it's how to describe it. It's kind of like a murder mystery type thing, but maybe forgets it's a murder mystery at some point. It's got Tessa Thompson, who is great, and John Bernthal, the Punisher, and they I like watching their performance. So they are an estranged couple. One is a police officer, the other a reporter. So Tessa Thompson plays a news reporter. John Bernthal plays a detective who is tasked with solving this murder, and it's just a lot of the relationship stuff. Mav, you said earlier, like things that start promising and then don't quite carry through. I feel this is unfortunately maybe a classic example. First couple episodes, it's only 6 episodes, but first couple, okay, all right, I like where this is going, and then it just doesn't quite stick the landing. The ending is, if you want to be honest, it's ridiculous and really doesn't.
I called it.
Scrutiny.
I'm saying nothing. All I'm saying is I called that in the second episode. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I
okay.
enjoyed it. It was awful, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's one of those where I might gradually have to agree with you, but I did enjoy it. It's just, maybe it's not good. So there's that. I also watched this one for Tazzy. I watched a rom com. Tazzy, have you seen
Ooh.
People We Meet on Vacation?
No.
Okay, I think you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Okay.
So it's about two friends who make a promise to each other that they will spend every summer going somewhere, like traveling somewhere.
Ooh, I like that premise.
Yeah, and then stuff happens, and yeah. So I enjoyed it. I don't know why I watched this. It popped up on Netflix. I was like, okay, let me. um, not that I don't like rom coms. It's not like that, but I don't. There's no reason. I've had no knowledge of this. Apparently, it's there's a book by the same name,
Sounds about
which
right,
is
yeah.
yeah, okay. So no knowledge of that, no knowledge of this film, no anticipation. Just popped up. Like, okay, cool. All right, let's check this out. And I enjoyed it. I like it. It's a good film. And the last one I will get to, and this is where I need to vent. Has anyone seen Marty Supreme?
Yeah.
You have. Okay,
No.
so you might feel me on this. This is a very good film. This might be. I mean, we're only in February. This might be one of the best films of the year so far. Yeah, there you go, for what that's worth. However, uh, however, so the premise is Timothy Chalamet plays a table tennis player, a very good table tennis player, and he has this quest to be world champion. So that's all I knew about it from the beginning. And I thought it was going to be a whiplash kind of situation. And it's definitely not. Both very good films. So this is a very good film. However, I've never felt such rage at a protagonist. Like, genuine is the most like arrogant, narcissistic guy, and Chalamet plays it fantastically, in my opinion. But I wanted to see this character just get punched in the face at so many points in this film. I were it not for, and not to turn this into a political thing, but not were it not for Donald Trump, I would not believe this character could exist. This level of narcissism, or maybe Kanye West is probably a better reference, because Kanye West has talent. So this character he plays like has actual talent, but the levels of narcissism just off the charts. So it's a fantastic film, I think, but you will be if you're a decent person, you'll be infuriated by this character. So there you go. I don't know if you felt the same, Mav.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of Anora and Whiplash, with that kind of chaotic.
Yeah, very very chaotic.
Yeah, and it's annoying because so many people are going to idolize Mighty Supreme when actually he's
No,
not
he's
a nice
not a
guy.
good. No, no, there's not
And
at
I feel
all.
like
Not
that's
at all.
something that I feel like he should have started the movie by him like breaking the fourth wall and being like, "Do not idolize me here."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because the amount I'm seeing, I'm like, I don't think people
Oh,
are really
seriously?
understanding what's kind of going on.
Oh wow, that's a shame. Because that's not. I don't even think that's what the film tries to portray. Like, he's someone to be idolized. He's
Idolize, but it's the like, it's like the strive to do what you want to do, and you're setting how much will you do to get what you want, and it's like,
I mean, that's there, but no, it's not. He's very clearly not. He's not. But I guess, yeah, each to their own, maybe. But fantastic film. I wouldn't be surprised if it won an Oscar. So yeah, so that's my list. Those are the stories that we have been enjoying. Now let's get to our main story discussion. Today, for our first story discussion of a new season, we are going to be talking about F1, the 2025 sports drama directed by Joseph Kosinski, from a screenplay by Aaron Kruger. It stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, Tobias Menzies, and Javier Bardem in supporting roles. So spoiler alert, we're going to talk about all the spoilers that we've got time for. I will do a recap of the story, but first, let's get everyone's quick takes and general impressions. Jabril, let's start with you. What did you make of this film? Like, what did you think about it?
I saw it in the cinema, so
Mm,
I got the whole like action experience,
yeah,
and I enjoyed it. It was like super entertaining.
yeah. I watched it in the cinema as well. Mav, how about you? What did you think about this?
I really enjoyed it. I think people tend to think too hard in with movies sometimes, and this movie, I would say didn't think too much, and that's what made it so good. Yeah, it was just, it reminded me of a proper 80s blockbuster movie where you go in, you sit down, you get popcorn, you smile ear to ear, and then you come out not really changing as a human being, but just being like, you know what, that's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I got some things. I got some links to the human experience. I'll try and work in here, but we'll see how that goes. Tazzy, how about yourself? Did you see this at a cinema or?
No, I'm really gutted. So I didn't see it in the cinema, which is normal for me. So hard to organise a cinema trip because my schedule is forever changing. But so I didn't see it in the cinema. But you know, the worst thing is, I didn't even watch it on a TV. I ended up having to watch it on my iPad because the day that because my TV broke last week.
No.
And for some reason, Apple TV wasn't working on my MacBook. I think that is also having some issues. So I've had to watch it on my iPad, which I am really gutted because when I was watching it, I was like, damn, this must be so good on like a decent screen. But yeah, no, similar to sort of, I think, Mav, your description of it was like pretty bang on. Yeah, like it was just so fun, like such the thrill of it. This kind of movie is the kind of movie that makes me want to watch F1, and then I realized that's the experience of watching F1 is nothing like watching a movie about F1. But yeah, I always love a good race film. I love, and I was talking to someone about this today, is that the thing I love about it is watching the race is intense, but I love how the like pit crews are portrayed and that, I guess, like that relationship with the drivers that the rest of the crew have. Because whenever I watch a film like this, because there's a couple, I'm always like, wow, F1 is such a team sport. And I just, it's that. It gave me that wow factor, but it was just like really good at getting the right intensity, and like it was really fun and like high speed, but it had some nice like slower bits in between, and it was quite wholesome at the same time. So had a bit of everything for me.
Yeah, no, I echo the chorus. Choir? I don't know what analogy I'm trying to, but I echo everyone's. Okay, yeah, I echo everyone. I really enjoyed this, and I feel, because we're going to mention Top Gun as well. What I'm going to mention Top Gun. At least I got a similar feeling of like this is a cinema movie, so it is a shame, Tazzy, that you watch it on your iPad, but so you sort of needs must. Yeah, this is exactly like Maz said, and exactly what I did: get popcorn in the seat, enjoy it, kind of film. I feel it's one of those where if you do think too hard and you pull apart the sum of its parts, it's like is maybe like cliche or whatever it is, but just together it just works as a package. Brad Pitt has this, I don't know, he's just got this like effortless charm that he hasn't yet lost, and he just like carries this thing forward. And like, technically speaking, I don't know anything about F1, but I feel like I do now. So that's a testament to this film. And I did pull out some life lessons in this, which really stuck me, because it is quite an underdog story in at the heart of it, which I always do enjoy. So yeah, we'll get into it. Like I said, I will do a recap, which is going to happen now. So this is a story that takes us to the world of F1, where Sonny Hayes has spent the last 30 years living as a racer for hire fofollowing a career-ending crash at the 1993 Spanish Grand Prix. After winning the 24 Hours of Daytona, he is approached by former teammate Ruben Cervantes, owner of the struggling APXGP F1 team, who asks him to be their second driver, as they must win one of the 9 remaining Grand Prix of the season, or his investors will sell the team. Sonny agrees and meets the team, including technical director Kate McKenna and ambitious rookie Joshua Pierce. Sonny struggles with the modern F1 machinery, but quickly hits on the team's weaknesses, proposing that the vehicles be upgraded to compensate for their speed disadvantage. At the British Grand Prix, Sonny and Joshua compete against each other, resulting in both crashing out. Sonny then exploits the rules at the Hungarian Grand Prix by deliberately colliding with rivals to trigger safety car periods, which I just learned in the film, allowing Joshua to secure APXGP's first top 10 finish. During the rain-affected Italian Grand Prix, Sonny advises Joshua to remain on slick tires, but he ignores Sonny's instructions, flies off the track, and his car bursts into flames. He is injured and misses the next 3 races. Sonny performs well during Joshua's absence, using Kate's newly upgraded vehicle, but an arrogant Joshua returns at the Belgian Grand Prix and deliberately forces Sonny into a crash. Afterwards, Sonny criticizes him for setting the team back for personal glory. APXGP is forced to remove the upgrades following an anonymous tip, putting the team back at a disadvantage. Sonny crashes during the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and while he recovers, Ruben discovers he's been medically unfit for F1 and fires him for his own safety. APXGP board member Peter Bannon then admits to Sonny that he has attempted to sabotage the team and force its sale, offering Sonny a ton of money to let APXGP fail. Meanwhile, Joshua begins applying Sonny's racing techniques and recommits himself to the team. Sonny persuades Ruben to let him return just as the FIA clears Kate and restores her upgrades. So at the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Joshua battles Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc for the lead. On the final lap, Hamilton and Joshua collide, clearing the way for Sonny to make his first F1 win and secure APXGP's future. As the team celebrates, Sonny quietly prepares to leave, parting on good terms with the team, and sometime later lines up for the Baja 1000. And when asked what he is racing for, Sonny laughs. The end. So yeah, I mentioned like Top Gun. I may as well just bring that up now because this is a film that started development in 2021. So Brad Pitt, Joseph Kosinski, Aaron Kruger, and producer Jerry Bruckheimer, who feels like he's been around for ages. I remember like having DVDs with Jerry Bruckheimer on the page. But yeah, they were all attached to the project, and the latter 3 previously collaborated on Top Gun Maverick, which came out in 2022. So there's connection there. I feel obviously the personnel and then the style of the film as well. Lewis Hamilton was also a producer as well, and this was very much a licensed film by the brand F1. So similar to other films we talked about, like Barbie, the Lego Movie, Minecraft. So I wondered what everyone's take on this is. Like, what's the line between like celebrating a sport and telling a good story? Because I've seen some criticism that this is essentially a glossy corporate promotional film. I don't know if you all agree with that, or what do you think?
I think it's a bit like how people like Lego and actually Barbie were just these same kind of sentiment, right? But they were still great films. Just
Yeah,
it didn't stop them from being great films. Like if you were taking out the Lego from the Lego movie and it was just random building blocks, or Barbie was a generic doll, it would still hit the same. And I feel the same with this. Like it was like, yeah, it was F1, but also like F1 is such a, like what else is that? You can't have it anything else to get the same movie.
yes, yeah,
Like it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work without it being F1,
and fully branded.
without it being in a completely fictional universe. Because like that, there is no other equivalent to F1. Like that is just it. There's F1. Obviously, there's other racing, but it wouldn't make sense. It kind of has to be F1 for it to work. And
Yeah.
maybe it's, I'm sure it boosts this year's F1 viewership, but
Yeah, it must do. Not with me, but yeah, other people.
yeah, I mean, like it gives me the idea of watching it.
Yeah,
Not that I will,
yeah.
but I'm
I'll catch the
totally on
highlights.
board. Yeah, totally on board with that F1 exists.
Yeah. Yeah. Jabril, Mav, do you agree with that? You think it's yeah, I guess it has to be this way, is what it to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's if you're a hardcore F1 fan and you're going into a F1 Buckheimer movie, you're probably going to be asking for a bit too much for realism, and you have to kind of suspend belief to enjoy it. I mean, I saw everyone just like pulling apart bit by bit. I'm like, look, it's a movie about F1. It has to tick 2 columns here. It's got to tick the column of the people that love F1 and live and breathe it, and they want to see a movie about their sport. But they also need to tick a box of people that have no. I could not care for F1. I think it's one of the most boring sports on the planet. I know people love it. I know, and I love cars. I love cars. I love racing. But just F1, I've seen it live. I've watched it on TV. I've watched it at a pub at 2 a.m. Like I've watched it many times, but for me, it's not it. But like, it has to tick that box. It's got to tick both boxes, and I feel like movies have a very hard time trying to get both audiences, because it can't be too on the nose. It can't be too it can't lack substance. So I think it's really, really difficult to do. I feel like that's why they can, like, people can walk away and be like, oh, this movie's not this or that, because it's really hard to do. And I feel like you got to take that with a pinch of salt.
Hard to please everyone. And just for the record, you've now upset Tazziii and every F1 fan who might be listening.
I'm so sorry, but like,
yeah,
listen, I get it.
cool.
You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah. I just realized, Jabril, we've got a mutual friend who, our friend Sean, who's a big F1 fan, who I did not know was such an F1 fan until like 2 years ago, and we've known him for well over a decade.
Yeah, they usually keep it quiet.
He did keep it quiet in our defense.
But just to kind of comment on what Mav said, is that I think I'd argue that commercially it'd be in their best interest, and also if they're interested in marketing to new fans, to not make it so dull and not make it so kind of like technically or kind of accurate. So the fact that they've kind of like leaned into the entertainment factor makes absolute sense. Because most of the people that are going to go see it are not going to be F1 fans. And if they are, most of them are going to be casuals. So they don't really care. It's just the hardcore ones that are probably making a fuss. But in terms of actually making money, and like you said, Bruckheimer has been around forever, and he's made a lot of money in the industries, so he's probably like, we need to make a super entertaining film, and I think that's what they achieved here.
Yeah, I'm interested to get your thoughts on this, Jabril, as well, because as we record, they've just released the list of nominations for 2026 Oscars, Best Picture in particular, and this was in the list. Now, I enjoyed this film, as we all said. I did raise an eyebrow when I saw that in the list. So, because Jabril, I feel like you've seen quite a few of the nominations in that category. Did this surprise you that it's in that list?
Yeah, it's kind of like the odd one out. It's the one that turns up to a ball wearing jeans and t-shirt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, no, yeah, because it doesn't have the depth that you kind of associate with Oscars. But in terms of like just pure movie making, I mean, I don't know. You know, to be honest, the thing about with these awards is like there's a lot of campaigning that happens in the lead up to it, and you'd be surprised, not just with the films, like with the actors and everyone. Like they really try to push this on the Academy, and it's the same for all the other awards that lead up to it. And if you're in the industry, you'll see a lot of. Do you guys remember, like, sometimes you would get screeners of films? So those screeners would go out to like Academy members that kind of view it, and they'd be like, please consider our movie, or or agents would say, please consider our actress or the actor for nomination. That's why you'll see, and that's why it's not quite consistent in terms of what if an AI was to choose this. I think it would be a bit more consistent, but this includes a lot of campaigning and a lot of kind of like insider influence.
So is that, it's not like, because and I feel like I'm wrong in this assumption now, but it's not to say like the Academy Awards, or anyways, it's not like the selection of judges or whatever picking these are the best films within us, and then we're going to nominate. It's the movie makers saying this needs to be in the list, and then they say yes or no.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes they time the movie release. I mean, most of the time they time the movie release
I've heard that,
based on the award season, and then people are watching the award season to kind of gauge the temperature of like where what's the Academy gonna choose, and then leading up to the whole process, there is a massive like heavy campaigning. So it's not as kind of purely based on just like the quality of the movie or the quality of the performance. Sometimes if the movie or the performance is undeniable, it'll always kind of like make its way into the list. Because at the end of the day, like the Academy members are also kind of people from the industry, so they do appreciate craft. But, I think it'd be a lie to say that they don't get influenced.
Okay. Yeah, that's I hadn't actually properly considered that as well. I don't know if anyone else was surprised by this or even knew it had been nominated for an Oscar. I don't know how closely people pay attention to that stuff.
I was
Yeah, no, I
surprised,
had
but yeah.
no idea.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there you go. So, yeah, in terms of like the narrative itself, like we said, it's not necessarily the deepest, but I feel there is things that are well done here. And as I mentioned, this being maybe greater than the sum of its parts, and there's a reason for that. And I feel there is a skill to that. One thing that this is a little bit, because this is really like Brad Pitt's film. Like there are other people in it, but this is about Brad Pitt. And I feel with Brad Pitt at the stage of his career, because he's 60 something. He's up there, but
He is up there.
yeah, but I mean he's doing well for himself because he's tend to portray this kind of like older, like weathered man staring down his own mortality, and I don't know if that's like a projection thing for him because he is in an industry that values like younger faces. I mean, I mentioned Timothy Chalamet earlier as one of those that taking their place. So I feel like starting with Brad Pitt, do you find him believable in this role? Like, do you feel like you want to follow him on this journey that he's on?
I think so, but is it because it's Brad Pitt?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question.
You put another actor in. You put another actor in the film, and I mean, the minute that Brad Pitt is on, there's obviously there's very few actors and actresses that can do this, but when they're on, it's all eyes on, it's all concentration on. It's really hard to look away. He has that aura, and I feel like it helps everyone around on set as well. It kind of amplifies the quality. He just has that about him. He's really believable. I think he is, but I think Brad Pitt did a really good job with it. I'd be really interested to see someone that doesn't have that blockbuster appeal to see what they would do with it.
Yeah. Tazziii, have you ever been on set with Brad Pitt?
No, I've spoke to people. I've spoke to people that have been on set with Brad Pitt. I've spoke to some hair and makeup artists that have worked with him.
Do you have any like unofficial names for him?
No, because I've never been on set with him. You only get a nickname if
if you've been on
I've
set.
interacted with you. Yeah.
Loads of actors right now are punching the air hearing this.
Yeah,
they're trying to book Tazziii.
Brad Pitt, if you're listening, you still got time. I think 65 is the cutoff in Hollywood. I think so. If you want to make another film,
my answer is I don't know, because I don't know any race drivers that are, I wouldn't know.
Coming back after 30 years.
Wouldn't know. Don't know anyone I don't have any real world comparison.
Yeah,
like I don't even like watched world impact comparison because I've never watched anyone. But I feel like for me a lot of it was like, because you're saying that it's about him, but for me it was about the impact that his character left on all of the people around him.
Okay, like a magic pixie. Yes. Swans in. He swans in as
he
as
kind
mentioned.
of like swans. He kind of makes his character kind of like comes in and just like helps people see like a better version of themselves. He helps like bring out their existent talent. He kind of like draws it out and then goes, "Peace, I'm out." Bit of a Mary Poppins for F1.
Yeah, I've not thought of that.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed seeing how he sort of like impacted each of the characters, and even some of the, you know, more supporting roles, like the young guy
Oh,
technician
Joshua, the driver.
that's
Oh, the tech.
no, the tech that's like on the mic to him, the one that's like
Oh, that makes the
said
bet.
something, yeah, that makes the bet, yeah. Him, like, even him, and that character didn't have like a massively prominent role, but
No.
we still see the growth in that character. I feel like we see the growth in the pit crew, and how he's kind of like comes in and
Yeah.
pulls this, like, because the idea is that this team's doing like terrible, like they're gonna have to
No
sell, like
points.
they're literally like they're not just at the bottom, they're like failing at the bottom as well. And I feel like the idea is like he comes in and it's not, obviously he's a really talented driver, but I don't feel like that's the impact he makes on the team. The impact that he makes on the team is that he brings out all of their good skills, and vice versa as well, that they kind of, I guess, like he feels a bit like he's kind of like coasting before he joins the team, and
Yeah, I
then
mean, literally is.
he's reminded of why he does it. That we don't know. It's still just like left in a limbo. But I hated that. But like he kind of is reminded what, and then so when we leave, he's also changed very subtly, because he's still doing the same thing, but he's just got that like spark back in him.
Yeah, a bit more clarity. That's interesting. And yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, Mary Poppins, and thought of that one. But so for him, I think for him and this story, I get that take as well. What I quite like about this story, I think it knows what it is. And whenever you make a story, and like Jabril, you like will know this as well, so you can say if I'm right or not. But you only have so much space, whether that's like for a film where you got like little time space. If it's for a comic, you only have so many pages, because there's, you know, inevitably there's a budget somewhere. Just, you know, you got to wrap it up at some point. And there's like a Venn diagram of, you know, character development, visuals, sound, audio, and you can't have everything at like 100%. And based on the story you're trying to tell, you got to decide what's the balance of that. So I feel in this film they've decided what the balance is. So even the way it starts. So we've got like Sonny Hayes. We see him doing the 24-hour race. We kind of get a sense of where he's at, and then the bit from that to him being on the team is like there's no friction at all. We don't see no friction, and all the exposition, all the dialogue is just getting to that point, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just they skip that bit. So we get it, who he is, where he is, where he's been at, and now let's start the film. And the whole thing is about, well, like one of the things I picked up is this idea of redemption. So he's at a low point, and this is about him like rising up above that and making it. So when Ruben meets him, I do like their interaction at the beginning. You can tell they're friends, and then he, again, straightforward dialogue. He explains, no points. They're going to sell the team. We need you. You're going to do it. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. We know you are. Okay, cool. I'm going to do it. And then we go. So do you feel that impacts? Actually, first of all, I asked Jabril, do you feel that balance thing is an accurate kind of mindset of a story creator? And do you feel it affects like the amount of emotion we can invest in Sunny or this story?
No, I think it's just formulaic kind of efficient filmmaking,
That's the word. Yeah.
or script writing. Kind of like the obvious kind of like introduction scene, which is like, what scene can we reveal the protagonist in that kind of like says a lot about him, and then they do that, and then the inciting incident instantly happens after that, and then the movie starts, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like it's very I don't know. Someone here said that it reminded them of an old school film. I think it might have been Mav. So it's kind of like that kind of like tried and tested style of filmmaking, of script writing, and it works if you've got like able hands that are working on it.
Yeah, it makes me think of, well, I'm going to mention Top Gun Maverick more, but I was also thinking of The Wild Robot, which is a weird comparison to make. But when we did the episode on The Wild Robot, like Tazziii, I remember we were saying I mean, that's a great film, but it's also not necessarily like there's not a lot of surprises in it, and it can be you can see it's quite predictable, but that's not a bad thing, and it works if you know how to work it and how to use it. So it's like it that film itself has decided this is where we're going to spend the resources we have, and it works. And I feel, again, Mav, I feel that this episode is just me quoting Mav um,
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah.
But yeah, you said like, you don't overthink it and take your popcorn and enjoy it. And that is a valuable experience. Like that's not to be sniffed at. And I feel this
Mm.
film just does that really well. It's very confident in doing that. But I felt emotionally invested for various reasons. So it does work.
Yeah. I mean, I was like locked in. I'm like, yeah. And it's not a short film. It's actually like
Yeah, no, it's actually I
it's
didn't realize how
it's quite long. And
yeah.
you doesn't feel it. It does not feel as long as it is.
I think what really helps with that is the fact that you're in, for most people that are watching it, that we're all entering a brand new world. Like we have no idea. I mean, I had no idea what the F1 kind of world is because I'm not a fan. And then going behind the curtains on how a team works, it's kind of like how, you know, you might remember like there was probably like 1,000 police procedural shows in the
Yeah.
past, because it was really
Mm.
interesting to people because it was such a world that they were quite alien to. But now there's so much of it that it's kind of died off because we kind of like people kind of like sussed out what a police station and how it works and how detective
Mm.
police work works. But with the F1, for instance, though, you're kind of like, oh, what's around the corner? Oh, and then this. Oh, okay. So this is how they test the thing. And like, they're always like unraveling and revealing new information about the world. So it kind of keeps you engaged as well as the action that's happening.
Yeah. I found that about like similar films. So I don't know if anyone here has seen Ford versus Ferrari.
Beautiful movie.
Such a great
Absolutely
movie.
banging. One of my favorite car movies of all time.
Is that on
Yeah.
Netflix?
No, it's on Disney Plus, I think. I
Okay.
watched it
Oh,
on the
that's
other
good.
day.
Good enough.
Which I might actually have to go back and watch. So I watched that like a while ago. I think I watched it maybe in 2020. Yeah, I watched it in 2020.
Beautiful
Anyway,
movie, man. Beautiful
great
movie.
film. But again, that I mean, that really is like the under the hood of F1, right? That's like that's like very early racing type film. And then also we've done Gran Turismo
Oh
on
yeah.
here, which are in the similar
Mm.
vein of movie, racing. You get to see a bit more behind the scene because you can't really make a movie and have it only on the racetrack. It'd be very, very boring. But I think what I liked, what this done that helps keep that pace, I think it helps that you're making a movie about things that move fast to keep the pace going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what they do really well to make it not boring that you're just watching from the outside is like the shots of, and this has got like a really good shot of Brad Pitt, like in the, I think when I love it. It's when he's driving angry after
Yeah.
the car gets they have to go back to the old one.
He
And
gets his card.
we don't see any of the track. We just have a shot of his face in the car
Just
as he's moving.
frustrated.
We just get and we get muted sound as well. And
Yeah,
it's
I love that.
such an impactful moment. And I think this film is full of those that even if you are already quite familiar with this film, this style of film, this kind like this topic of film, you're still like, it's been crafted so beautifully, so well that it keeps the pacing. We're never looking at the same shot. We're always in a new scene. I like how we transition into a new scene. And there's like different parts of these worlds. Like we get to see like JP's mum and his agent and how they interact with him, and like there's all these like beautiful moments that they add in that kind of break it up and keep it dynamic. Like the running, we get to see Sonny running on his own, and then slowly more and more of
Gather people. Yeah.
the team join until it becomes a thing. And yeah, I think part of that pacing is a part of that why it doesn't feel as long, is because it is really well paced and really well, like the scenes are really well, like they're dynamic enough for us to never feel like, okay, bored of
You
this
never
bit
feel
now.
bored. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think helps in a short term attention span. How do you make a long film with short attention spans?
Lots of little scenes.
Yeah.
So you do it. But you mentioned that driving scene when he's driving angry. It reminds me of a point I was going to come to about the exposition. So the exposition and the way it's shot. So I was going to say with the exposition, because usually I've got a sense of exposition, like unnecessary exposition, which is why I always have an issue with anime. But anime gets a pass because it's just anime. But a lot of shonen anime just has a lot of exposition, like characters don't talk like that, and it's like to explain the plot. But it's fine, anime's fine. But here there's a lot of exposition to just explain things, and I appreciate it because I think we've all demonstrated by this point we're not necessarily F1 fans. And I always actually wonder if an F1 fan would appreciate that, or would that be like talking down to them? Because I feel there's no point in this film where I didn't know what was going on in the race, because there's just lines that we got the commentator saying, like, there's lines like, this is, when things happen, this is actually an advantage for Hayes, or just 2 minutes to go
Yeah.
until the race gets underway. Like, you're guided the whole way. And what makes that scene that you mentioned, Tazziii, so great is that I think it's one of like the 2 scenes that doesn't have any, or at least for a long stretch, doesn't have any talking. That there's no commentary when you see him angry and he's racing. And then I think the second one is at the very end when he's in the flow, and again it's just like he's in the flow until
Yeah.
someone says he's driving angry or he's flying.
He's fine. But also we kind of needed that, because without that you are just looking at someone's face in a car, like anything could be happening.
So that's what I'm saying, and this is why actually I should have asked Sean if he's seen, because Sean isn't, our friend Sean is an F1 fan, but I imagine like someone who is a fan would know what's happening. Because I'm just thinking if it was like a football show, like I would know like what point is like what the drama is. So I imagine that. So they might be annoyed at it, but I think it's good because I don't know what is going on. Like the whole safety car thing, I didn't know about that. I've heard the term, but I didn't know that's how it worked. But
Do you know what? I done some F1 go-karting around Christmas, and I ain't got a clue about F1, but I feel like that prepared me to watch this film, because and I wish I'd watched this film before I'd gone, because maybe I'd understand some of the buttons that I had to press, because it was the car was talking to me, and I was like, I don't know what you're telling me to do. It's like, you can go into the whatever zone now, and I'm like, what is that? And I had some virtual flags when I was driving the F1 car.
You trying to bump people, trying to like get that safety car?
No, they were being really aggressive to me.
Okay.
They thought I was their colleague, and it was with a load of sports people, so they were very competitive and very aggressive, and they'd also had like 3 other goes on it, and this was my first and only time, so they knew the track. Anyway. So yeah, and then it just made the 2 things just clicked and made sense, and then I could see what was happening to the cars to understand what those modes were, and understand like on these corners. I felt very, very knowledgeable thanks to my go-karting experience.
There we go.
And because with the flags they can actually like just slow the cars
Slow
down.
everyone down,
because it's all like digital, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I didn't quite appreciate how digital is. Like you say, it's a team thing, and everyone's like watching, like when they were doing the timings that for the test runs, and they've got the lap times. It's like a game, and
I really appreciate that. I really love the whole teamwork thing, and everyone being over and then at the end when they come in with the which I would have had no idea if it wasn't being commentated, that like what was going on. But I was like, yeah, go on. Teamwork. Slow him down. Block him.
So all right, so I feel that exposition helped us collectively. And I wonder if was the same for like the hardcore fans of F1. So I'm going to come back to my comparison of Top Gun. So in 2022, I watched Top Gun and got this a similar feeling. So I'd still say I feel Top Gun Maverick is one of the best number 2 sequel films. Full stop. If anyone wants to disagree with that, feel free to.
I've not seen it, and I don't remember the first one, so I literally have no info.
I agree. For what it's worth.
Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely a better film than F1. I'm not trying to digress, but the comparison between the feeling of them, like Top Gun Maverick, like you feel like you are in the cockpit of that. I'm just gonna say fighter jet. I was gonna try and pull like a model number as if I knew or remember. Fighter jet. Like you feel it, and it's a similar story beats because you got Tom Cruise. So from the first Top Gun, without going too much into Top Gun because it's not about that, but I think one of the things that elevated that, the first Top Gun is fine, it's a film of its time, 80s, fun, great film, but the sequel kind of elevated it, like added layers to the like narrative depth to the story, and just made a whole thing. So Tom Cruise comes in as the older, used to be great, but can he still cut it with these new recruits? Is he past his prime? And he shows everyone, no, still got it, and let me show you. So there's a similar story beats. So you've got the Asian protagonist, you've got the skepticism about whether they can still do it, challenging authority figures. The protagonist using unorthodox methods. There's always got to be a romantic subplot as well, and then a critical high stakes mission, and then again the themes of redemption as well. So kind of going back to the same point I was talking about with The Wild Robert in terms of not being necessarily surprising. I feel this film isn't surprising. Does anyone feel it brings anything new to that redemption story arc, or is it just enjoy watching it? What do you guys think?
In all honesty, I thought he was going to die at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have to agree.
I thought I was actually kind of surprised when he walks after the
Brad
win.
Pitt doesn't die in films.
I wasn't thinking about what Brad Pitt does in films. I was thinking about the beat of the story. When he walks off after he's won. And he does there's a bit where he looks like he's kind of exhausted. I genuinely thought, and then like everyone's kind of celebrating. I genuinely thought, he's going to die. Because we'd already had the exposition of like how dangerous his injury is, the high risk. And I feel like that whole thing was pointless. It didn't need to be there.
It didn't
add any weight to the story whatsoever. So I thought, I was like, oh, it's getting really sad now. I didn't even just leave it. I was like, oh.
Just going to do the thing. Okay.
Yeah, which he's just been doing the whole. So yeah, I genuinely, that was my surprise, is that he did. It felt like he was going to die, and then he didn't.
Okay.
I did think he was going to go, but then I remember that it would have been very non-blockbustery, and we just spent however long the movie was. How long was it? 2 hours?
2.5.
Two and a half.
Yeah.
We just watched 2 hours of how he's going to walk away happy, and then I had to remind myself he's not dying.
Yeah. See, no, I already had like the tears coming and everything. I was like, oh, it's so
you were ready for it.
and then he was just there, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that works, I guess. It's not as dramatic. But I literally had the tears welling up because I was like, oh, it's so sad.
This is it.
Because it was like the moment as well, like JP was like looking all really proud of himself.
Yeah. So where is he?
It looked like he was going to be like, oh, and then that we were going to get a big reveal. And then it was like just that he's leaving. And I'm like, well, did we not? Why is everyone surprised at that? Did we not? That's was the thing. He's going to come in and go. Why did you think? Yeah.
Okay. Jabril, did you think he was going to die? I never thought he was going to die.
Can't remember how I felt, but I know I did feel emotional. But
I felt emotional.
I just don't know what it was for.
I feel emotional for no reason. Yeah, no, I get that. It's and he did kind of tell people this is sort of what he does, but. Yeah, I think the sum of the parts are just so great. So it might not bring anything new, but it just it just everything that's there just works. So the bit where, I mean, I mentioned the redemption part, which is kind of like a life lesson in there, but the bit I thought was interesting, I want to put it to you all, is that we see from quite early, Sonny feels unorthodox, and then when he's on the F1 team, we see that he's willing to play dirty to win, and obviously they do win. And there's a line he has at some point where I think it's either just before or just after they have to revert the changes in the car, but he says, "We can't win clean." And that's an interesting message, if you want to be a message, because he does things like, intentionally get the safety car, slow people down. He takes risks. Is that a yeah? What do you think of that message? Is that a good message? Any means necessary message? I thought it was an interesting message for a film, but also
Mm.
as a life message, maybe maybe there's something to that as well.
I feel like the message I took for it was not so much any means necessary, but more of if the thing you're doing is not working, then you might have to make some decisions that aren't the usual ones, that aren't the status quo. That's what
Yeah.
I got from it. Because it's
Yeah.
like, this is a team that it's really not working with. Okay.
Well,
And you've got,
and it
you've got,
hasn't.
what was it that they called the car? I don't know, whatever, but it's
Oh,
it's a bad car. So if you've not got the car
yeah,
going for you
like
in
rust
a
bucket or
race,
something. Yeah.
then you gotta make what you've got work, kind of thing. Yeah. And I hear that.
I kind of feel the same in that it was more like we're outgunned, so let's kind of like pull out the secret toolbox.
Yeah.
How can we kind of even the playing field rather than like anything to win? Because I feel like he kind of feels like, I don't know, he feels like someone who's obviously competitive, but at the same time, he's do you get the feeling that he feels like on any given day he can beat anyone, given the right circumstances?
Do you think are you saying that he feels that, or that we feel that about him?
No, I feel like he feels like that.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I kind of felt.
See, I got the sense less of that he believes that he can, but just that because he's
He
a
just
gambler,
wants the chance to.
and so I think his thrill and like his "why do you do it?" because it keeps coming
He's like, can he?
Is the thrill of the gamble more than anything. It's like, will this pan out? Because I don't think he is like a do anything, because with JP's crash, like he was like, no, patience, like
Yeah,
play
that's
it.
true. That's true.
He's not
He's got a
not
plan.
playing
There's a
people. Yeah, people
method
think
to the
he's
madness.
super dangerous, but it's
Yeah.
calculated risk that he's into. And I think it really is the thrill of the risk and thrill of the like gamble, because like there's the whole thing with his playing cards and he doesn't look at them, and then right at the end he's sitting in the car, and then after he wins he flips it over, it looks at it, we don't see what card it is, but he's got like a smile on his face. He's like, yeah. See, I feel like he pulled the card that he wanted to pull. It's like an ace or something. And then when he goes, and then we get the like his next race, why is he in with it? And I think it is. I think it's just the thrill of the risk. Like he just likes to take a gamble. He's like, where can I? Like he's the person that if you were playing a board game, he's the one that just plays the chaos move.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it. He's like, let's shake things up. It's too tame.
Okay, yeah. No, I get that. And you've actually made me think of something. I don't want to upset Tazziii too early in the season by talking football, but there was a manager that got sacked from his role who just refused, when the thing wasn't working, just refused to make any changes and became famous or infamous for saying, I will not change. But it's like, it's not work. We can all see it's not working. So I feel like, Sonny, you're right, Tazziii, this isn't working and we're going to change it. And I'm good with changing it. And it's not changing it randomly. I know what, because he knows what the rules are. He knows. So yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, he thrives in the chaos.
Yeah, and I think in terms of like, why he does what he does, that's an overarching thing. Because at the beginning when he's asking the waitress in the cafe, Dinah, whatever it is, it's like, what should I do? And she's like, how much is it? And he's like, oh, it's not about the money. And he goes, then what is it about? And then we have the rest of the film to answer that. Well, kind of maybe not answers
It
that
never actually
question.
gets
It gets
properly answered.
answered, yeah.
I think it's one of those ones. It's like, this is here to interpret how you want. We didn't actually think about it that
Yeah.
deep. We just
Yeah,
thought it was
yeah,
a cool
yeah.
line that we could add in there.
I mean, yeah, it works. We're talking about it. So, and so Sonny being I'd say the main protagonist, but the other protagonist is Joshua, who's the rookie driver. And the thing that they've got going on from a narrative perspective is like it's a duo protagonist, so they learn from each other. Sort of, I feel maybe Joshua learns more than Sonny does, but they learn from each other. So Joshua learns. Oh yeah, no, Sonny does, sort of he does sacrifice himself for teamwork and all that. But yeah, so he learns they learn from each other. And I quite like that when I see that in stories, because Joshua is like the rookie, he thinks highly of himself. I mean, it's not working for him, but he thinks highly for himself. He's very concerned with the individual, I guess. Is he concerned with the individual? Or he's concerned about
Yes,
him and his
he is.
social media following and what other people think about him. And then Sonny brings him sort of down to earth, and eventually he learns, oh, actually, because he's the one at the end, he carries on the running thing with the team. And I feel that's like the narrative sign that okay, now he gets it. Now he's on board.
I feel like JP is like, I am like this. I feel like he doesn't see it as a collective sport. He's like, I am the
Yeah.
driver. Like
Mm.
I am.
Mm.
It's all about me. Whereas even though Sonny isn't necessarily great at the whole teamwork thing, he understands that he is part of a collective.
That's a good point.
And
Yeah.
whereas like JP is like, he thinks because he's the face of it that he's all of it and that everyone else is underneath him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So there was a good quote where I mean on the sort of any means necessary, or it's not quite that, but along those lines is from Nick James at BFI Sight and Sound. He says that Sonny advances the cause of the team by bending the rules beyond the breaking point, making sure that the race is never fair, quote unquote fair. The film is all about how a man well past his prime can effectively bully his way to a team victory, which I thought was maybe a bit harsh, but also maybe not maybe not untrue. So and and I thought the other interesting thing, there's I got a couple other really like life comparisons where at the end, and I think to test it's not about the money thing, we learn, or before the final race, so this is after Sonny's injury and the revelations there, one of the board members comes to him and says, oh actually, well, he doesn't say it, but he's the one that's been sabotaging the little snake, because he's been there all the time. And he's like, I can bring you on board, and here's some money if you just, sit this one out, or mess this up for the team. And that's like a test of, it's not about the money, or here's some money. Is it really about the money? And we find out it's not. And that's interesting because I remember feeling that when I was watching in the cinema, like that character, the one who smiles in your face and is really sabotaging you, and made me think of a time. It's quite early on in my matter where it wasn't quite that, not that someone owed me money, but I remember someone saying that someone on our team basically, he's like, you're gonna have to replace him, kind of situation. Like you might need to rethink that one. I was like, oh, okay. I never did, but so okay, that's an interesting take. And if I mean, I wouldn't have, but if I had, that would have been a very much a wrong wrong decision. But yeah, it's just people around you that if they're close to you, don't mean they have your best interest all the time or know what they're talking about. So that was a personal one for me. I got one more, but we'll get there in a moment. So we got to talk about the visuals. Again, none of us massive F1 fans, but it looks good, and I feel like similar to Top Gun, where you feel like you're in that fighter jet, model number pending. You feel like you are in this F1 car, and I love the way as you mentioned already, the way the races are shot. You just feel it. Yeah, you just feel like you're on this roller coaster of it. I don't understand all the cinematography around it, but I just love how they've done it. I read that Apple had designed some onboard cameras for the cars based on iPhones, and compared to Top Gun, the cameras had been shrunk to about a quarter of the size from the ones used in that film, so that up to 4 cameras could be set up in the cars without adding to the weight, because obviously you're traveling at high speed. And I think it's one that relied a lot on when you're in the car, like the micro expressions from like Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, and it just worked. So if anyone does understand the technical aspects, was there a particular technical aspect of this film that you were particularly impressed by or moment in the film?
I've kind of mentioned mine was like the in car
Yeah,
Just a general like
moment.
in-car
IMAX was
shots.
beautiful.
That
Yeah.
specific one where he was driving angry.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it was just like based. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And then the fact that you felt that through your iPad, imagine if it was the big screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
so glad. I just like imagine watching that. I can imagine watching it in the cinema with the audio and the that's it. Just I've ordered a projector, so I'll just have to order some speakers and maybe or just use my headphones, and then maybe I'll get a new experience. I'll give an update on the next podcast.
'Cause, yeah. Cool.
I think the sound design was good, but not like especially impressive, but what you'd expect to be like very good.
Yeah. I feel I saw in the credits Hans Zimmer. Or did I just make that up? Yeah, just like the music and everything. It just all really worked at a high level. Very simple, but all worked at a high level, I feel. And, we've talked about some of the characters, the two main ones. I don't know if any other characters, like, was there room for any other characters to make an impact on anyone? I did feel like Kate, the technical director, was important to this film because she was like the most grounded person, just a real, because like Brad Pitt in this is like superhero swans in and everything, and Joshua's got like the whole ego thing going on. But yeah, Kate felt grounded. I guess she did. I don't know if you're being hypercritical. She did then fall into the romantic interest. I don't know if that like demoted her.
that jarred me a little. I mean,
Yeah.
it worked, but it did jar me a little. It's like this whole big thing about her being,
Professional.
the only woman technician. Like she's in this, and then she just becomes his she doesn't just become, but then she becomes his love interest. Like even the thing that I think bugged me is it wasn't even at the end. It was like she's like, winning.
He had the cards.
And he had the cards, and I was like, but then I kind of liked how they played it with everyone. But I really enjoyed there was a lot of sort of like supporting roles in this that were, not massive amount of screen time, but I think they all kind of just added their little thing. So there was one of the pit crew, what's his name?
The one who looks like Ben.
Looks like Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. I know what I mean, yeah. Yeah, the one that looks like Ben. And then like the clumsy girl.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, they weren't like massive. They were these like little moments, but I think they really helped to shape the story and what was happening on this team, and really helped to pull it as a team in, because we got snippets of who they were and what how they grew as well. So, and there's I think there's a moment where it's like Sonny's about to drive off, and then he gives him a nod to Ben lookalike. And he just kind of looks at him, and then he goes, I know, be ready. And before it was like, what's Sonny doing? And then they're kind of like, they got it, and then they're in this groove. And I like that they use the supporting characters in that way to just help shape that.
Yeah, no, it's not. And the other two don't know Ben, but yeah, trust us, he looks like Ben. But did any of the other characters, Jabril, Mav, stand out to you?
Javier was absolutely delightful. Always is, to be fair. Always is. But yeah, I think he just stole every scene, and so did the Kerry.
Kerry
Condon.
Kerry Condon, enunciation. But Kate was great in that, because again, she's really grounded. I believe her.
I've just realised where I recognise the Ben lookalike from. What he's in.
Ben.
Love Actually.
Oh, okay.
He's the friend of the one that goes.
I've not seen that in a long while, but I'll take your word for that.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, because it was bugging me when I was watching it. I was like, where is he from?
I did really feel Ruben. I felt like close to him just because he's. I mean, orders of magnitude of spending difference, but I've started this thing. I'm in over my head, and I have to rely on other people to make it work. Yeah, that was. I did like Joshua's mum as well.
Yeah.
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 And then I like there was a scene where his agent friend like came over and like called her auntie. I was like, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, no, I feel like I said, I feel it is Brad Pitt's or I read it, felt it as Brad Pitt's film, but everyone that was there contributed to the whole. Again, yeah, just everything, I feel like every level is just it's simple, but it works. So with the themes, I mean, we've talked about some of the themes already, like redemption, and I feel particularly like redemption by creating your own break. So this idea of Sonny, if not quite any means necessary, but willing to like bend, break the rules to create his own luck. I like that. I feel that's a good message. That if it's not working, you've got to do something to level the playing field. No one's gonna do it for you. And I think I feel there's a quote. I've got a note in my I've got a quote in my notes, which is, "If we do what everyone else does, we lose." Which I'm going to assume was from the film. That must have been why I put that in there, but I didn't put a name to that. So I'm going to assume that's something Sonny said. Then you've got the experience and instinct versus youth and sort of technology. So we see like Sonny repeatedly using his experience over 30 years and instinct to adjust plans when they're needed. And you also see like others not quite figuring, because when they're doing like the plan A, plan B, it's like plan C, chaos. It's like what is that? But then by the end, they're like plan C, chaos. We know what that is. So I
Yeah.
like that value in that older perspective, bringing it to the newer newer team. And then the one that I haven't mentioned, the other life lesson I want to get to. This is like my favorite, or one of my favorite things in this film, is not caring what other people think. And I love that Sonny comes in and does not care what other people think. And Joshua starts off very much caring, because you see him and his agent, like social media, like what the followers and all that. And Sonny reminds him that it's about the craft, the quote unquote craft of driving. And they have that, early on they're quite at odds with each other because they're coming from these different perspectives. And one of my favorite scenes in this that just stuck with me the whole since I saw it, has stuck with me throughout the year is I think it's the first race when they both crashed out. Yes, when they both crashed out, and if you remember, they like Sonny kind of approached him in the hallway thing, whatever that was. And I'll just like read out the quote because I love this. He sort of gets in his face and he's like, oh yeah, that was it. Because so Joshua's facing the press and he's presenting himself. He's doing like the whole Peacock thing, like presenting himself, even though they just crashed out of this race. And then Sonny comes and he's like, what the hell are you smiling about? Did you win something? He says there's 20 other drivers still out on that track and you're in here posing for that nonsense. Do you think any of them respect us? Do you? They need to learn that no one gets past us without a fight. No one. And what's great about the way they framed it is that Joshua is facing the press and then Sonny comes in and his back is to the press. And when he says the line and you're here posing for that nonsense, he like points his thumb backwards. I just got that image like seared in my mind because it's such a great reminder that what do you do this for? Is it for them who do not care about you? Was it to be, what you say you want to be the best driver? And if you want to be the best driver, you still got things to learn. And obviously Sonny's gonna teach him. But I love that as a life lesson as well. That's like my favorite. That's my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm aspiring to have that level of not
Honest,
caring
yeah,
that Sonny has. Like,
yeah. Seriously, like
I feel like I'm someone that doesn't overly care what people think anyway. But Sonny is like, that's a whole nother
I
level.
don't care what you think about me.
Yeah, and because it's not in a super. I don't think it's in a super like. I don't think he thinks he's the best person in the world.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily an ego. I guess there must be some ego in there, but
no. But I think for me, it feels like it is literally the absence of ego, because ego is what makes you care about what other people think.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, that's a good point.
And he literally doesn't, but not in a way like because I'm the best. It's like
it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Impact me.
It's like I'm not. That's not why I'm here. And I aspire to be so focused on the thing that I'm doing that it doesn't even occur to me to care about what people think.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. It doesn't even occur. Like, what he's like, why you even? Yeah, just why do you care? And I think there's a moment later when he's checking his phone. He's like, why do you even care what they say? Like, he's checking his social media
Yeah.
thing. It's like, yeah, why do you care what they say? So yeah, that was my. I tried, like I said, Mav, tried to pull out some life lessons there, and that was the one
Yeah.
that stuck with me. I love that moment. In terms of the themes in general, do you feel like the film, yeah, were the characters, obviously Sonny being the main one, but Joshua, were the characters like strong enough to carry those themes? Did those come out to you, other than me just repeating them to you just now?
Yeah, no. I liked the themes that they brought, but I really enjoyed the learning from JP's side.
Yes,
Kind
yeah,
of,
yeah.
as you said, coming in being a bit all me, and then slowly coming around. And I think him carrying on the running before the races,
Mm.
I think was a very nice circle back. Like I felt like that told us everything we needed to know without being told.
Yeah, that's great, like non-exposition
Yeah.
exposition.
And I was going to say as well, I love the scene where Javier Ruben's character, he's in. Well, obviously, he wants to win, right? And he knows that Sonny's going to win it. But even he's like, when he's laying in the hospital bed, and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" And then he
Mm,
like pulls him out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I liked that as well because you assume all these team owners and all these football owners and any sport owners, obviously they care about profit. That's kind of like the number
right.
one. It felt nice just to kind of see that put into play.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
The
what that's
human
what
element.
worked for me with that one. Yes, yeah.
But on the running thing, what was quite interesting because in the early days, so Sonny's running outside and JP is running on a treadmill with all of this
Oh
like
yeah,
tech
the equipment.
attached to
Yeah. Yeah.
him, and like they show you that difference, that like massive difference, and then we go to that scene that Mav mentioned. So it's like I like that. It was well tied in. It was like very subtle, easy to miss that moment.
There you go. Yeah. Uh, Jabril, what? How about you? Any? I feel like we're now doing like the what scenes left an impression, because definitely that moment for me. But yeah, anything for you? Anything that left an impression on you?
I just remember that the kind of essential arc of like a man just kind of like getting the chance to spread his wings again, and in doing so let other people kind of spread theirs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's like what Tazzy was saying earlier about Sonny comes in and he makes everyone. I mean, literally, yeah, makes everyone better. The team wins and he wins, and people learn things. So he's kind of a Mary Poppins sort of character. That's a different take on the film than I had before we started recording this podcast. But I feel that is accurate. And I did like that he. I mean, even to the point where he didn't want to touch the trophy. I mean, we saw that at the beginning. It's sort of like the parallel. So at the end, when they're going to give him this trophy, he's like, no, you give that to Ruben, give that to him. And he's
Mm.
off. And it's kind of tied into the ego. He's like, it's not about me, that this is not what I'm here for. So, we might not get the definitive answer of what it's here for, but along the way, we know what it's not. It's not about the money. It's not about the trophy.
We know what
It's
he's
not about,
not there
yeah,
for.
yeah. But I did like that because again, this it is like the world we're in is like everyone wants the material, well, not everyone, but a lot of people want the material thing. And there's nothing necessarily like inherently, well, I guess maybe there is something inherently when we're chasing material. Anyway, that's for a different podcast. But he is on this thing of like, that's not what I don't care about this. I don't care about what they think. I don't care about this. I'm here for this feeling, I'm here to fly, whatever that means for him. And he sticks to that, he remains consistent to that. I did appreciate like watching him. So yeah, no, it's good work.
Just a quick last note, in kind of also feels like he's very present, and he comes into a
That's yeah, yeah.
very thinky space, whether they're thinking about themselves, you know, outside,
The
or
consequences.
yeah, and he's more like instinctual and ground, like he's more in the moment, and I feel like that and he drives like that as well,
Yeah, that's a good point.
rather than all the data and whatnot. And another thing was that he's an outsider, so he was like able to come in and kind of just identify all the things that they couldn't see.
Yeah, because he does that straight away, like when in the test races.
Yeah, so and I think
Mm,
a lot of people, maybe a lot of people wish they were him while they are watching it, like just to be
yeah.
that kind of in tune with yourself, that level of like knowing yourself as well. And the boy's like almost a mirror opposite, like, and he's not very in tune or knows himself that well.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point. And Brad Pitt is must be one of the few actors that can do the cool walk away from an explosion walk without there needing to be an explosion. Because he does that twice, and he just comes in, he just swans in, and he just does that cool walk. Fair play to him. So, yeah. So that is our discussion on F1, the movie, because we don't know anything about the sport. But listeners, let us know if you do know something about the sport, especially if you feel a way about the exposition in the film. Did that hurt or help? Let us know what you think on this episode story discussion. You can jump in our Discord and chat with us there. Before we completely wrap, let's go into our storytelling tip. Each time we do a deep dive on the podcast, I like to pull out a storytelling tip for others to consider when making their own stories. So, this is a consideration from someone who also creates stories and likes to learn from the techniques or mistakes of others. And for today's episode, I wanted to discuss the idea of protagonists learning from each other, because I feel that was pretty well done in this film. So, it's this whole concept of like stories that are built around two protagonists having this promise of two perspectives, two journeys that are moving in parallel. And when done well, they can create this dynamic where each character becomes the catalyst for the other's transformation. So it's not just about giving them the same amount of screen time or dialogue, but structuring the narrative so that change happens in both directions, ideally. And each protagonist has to be incomplete in different ways, maybe opposite ways, so that they can challenge each other's worldview in interesting ways and then be changed by each other. So it's about this reciprocal transformation where both characters they may be like competent in their own right, but incomplete somehow. So whether it's like emotionally or philosophically, or yeah, one might lack purpose, the other might lack restraint, one might fear intimacy, the other responsibility. So yeah, it's just about having different lacks. In F1, we see a clear example of the veteran rookie duo. So Sonny is a seasoned, instinctive driver returning from exile. Joshua Pierce is the young talent shaped by modern society. So over the film, we see Joshua learn intuition, risk taking, emotional resilience from Sonny, and Sonny is kind of nudged to more like teamwork and mentorship and regaining relevance in a much changed sport since he last joined. So it's maybe not perfect. So although screen time doesn't have to be equal, I felt, or my perspective is like this is clearly Sonny's story, and he does take up a lot of oxygen narratively. But Joshua's growth is actually much clearer and more measurable, whereas Sonny's arc is more about restoring himself rather than transforming himself. So he kind of regains what he's lost, but doesn't really have to surrender any core beliefs. So it doesn't make the relationship ineffective. It just, yeah, maybe there's another layer of depth that could have happened, but it's quite dramatic and it's full of transformation. It made me think of another film, Collateral, where it's just a textbook example of mutual growth within like this mentor hostage narrative. So you've got Vincent, who is played by Tom Cruise, who initially appears like dominant, decisive, articulate, and just self-actualized. And then you've got Max, who is played by Jamie Foxx as taxi driver, who is passive, cautious, and has this dream of owning a limousine company, but he has never acted upon it. And the film's power is in its reversal. So Max learns assertiveness and agency through very close exposure to Vincent's worldview, but then Vincent is changed a little bit by Max's humanity. So yeah, they both get something. They're both reshaped, and the key is like that mutual growth done well. So both protagonists risk losing something they value, So if it's one-sided, only one character is changed, while the other remains quite protected. So here are 3 storytelling tips to consider when designing dual protagonists for your story. So number 1, design opposing needs, not just opposing personalities. So the conflict between the 2 protagonists should come from what each character lacks, not just their surface traits. And I felt like Collateral works because we see 2 protagonists who clash because of conflicting needs. So Vincent's core lack is like human connection and morality, and he needs someone who introduces resistance to his closed worldview. And then Max's core lack is agency. So he's paralyzed by safety, and he needs something to force him to choose and not continue waiting. Number 2 is track the influence through decisions and not dialogue. So the audience should be able to see the choices one character makes because of the other. So although this isn't a duo story, as I've been watching Better Call Saul, you see Jimmy and Kim work well. Well, that is maybe quite dysfunctional, but narratively it works well because like Kim doesn't tell Jimmy to take risks, but she joins him in the risk taking, and Jimmy doesn't persuade Kim to compromise, but he does create a space where she, in my opinion, sadly, does choose to compromise a lot. So each character's moral like slide, you can see it move through like different decisions that they would have not made alone. So we understand that influence through action, not them talking about it. And number 3 is let the change cost something real. So this is something that, I mean, if you want to be hypercritical, you say maybe F1 lacks a bit because only one character really loses something, and maybe sometimes the growth that doesn't require sacrifice feels unearned. On the other end of the scale, you got a film like Logan, where we see Logan and Laura on this journey where neither character grows without surrendering something essential. So for Logan, it's like he has to abandon emotional detachment, and then his life, he loses that as well. Well, until Deadpool shows up later on. And then Laura's cost is the loss of a father figure and any illusions of enjoying a childhood. So neither character grows without surrendering something essential. And that film works really well because that mutual growth is paid for in a way that you can't really take back. So yeah, so even if a character dies or leaves or fails somehow, that internal exchange has to feel complete. So it's about that exchange when both protagonists are allowed to challenge and reshape each other. So that's the tip. If you're working on your own story, let us know how you might be thinking about this. Send us a message in our Discord, or you can email us studio77 at mymatter.com. Tazziii, let's check in with our guest.
We'd love to hear a bit more about what projects or news each of you have got going on. So Mav, we'll start with you. Is there anything you want to shout out that you're working on at the moment?
Just the usual. I'm finding new games every day to talk about, games that will get me really excited, and then I look and they're not releasing until 2037. Some games, it's the most irritating thing. I find a new game every day, and then if I put up a game that's not out yet, people moan at me and say that I shouldn't be hyping up new games. If I post a game from 5 years ago, they call me Unk. So I don't know whether I'm coming or going, really.
You said 5 years ago.
So I'm kind of mixing it up. Yeah, I know, but apparently that's I can talk about and if I talk about a cowboy game, they compare it to Red Dead 2. So look, at this point, I'm finding games for me. I'm finding new games for me. I'm not really overthinking it. Just, like F1, like making the movie F1. You don't want to overthink it. You want to do what you want to do and have faith in the process. That's kind of what I'm working on, and some other things pending. But for now, just keeping the feng shui. You know what I mean?
Fair. And where can people find you online?
Mavitivo on everything, because no one knows what that is. That was the easiest handle to get. Mavitivo. Mavitivo. And I'm not an Italian plumber.
Right.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm Italian. I had a meeting with someone and they thought I was Italian. I was like, nah, I'm literally the most English person you'll ever meet in your life. It's awful.
How easily we're fooled. We just put a Itivo on the end. Oh, he must be from the old country.
There you go. You got it.
Love that. Jabril, do you have anything you want to shout out?
Nothing in particular, but I'm just
All-
just want to say thank you for having me on. I'm glad to be here. You've kind of it was fun. So thank you for having me on.
No worries. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we'll add links to show notes anyway for anyone that can't spell Mavitivo.
I can't even spell it half the time. Don't worry about it.
Cool. We got some updates. So Story X Story is one of the shows on our Studio 77 platform. It's our digital platform where we host different shows with creative professionals and also from time to time play games for your amusement. So each month you can catch us on Twitch or YouTube with different shows, including the Studio 77 Report, casual conversations with comic creators, and games night as well. So yeah, make sure you're following us on Twitch and YouTube and catch each show live. So follow us there. And if you're a young aspiring creative professional or you know of one, then check out the My Matter Showrunners Work Experience Program. We are creating opportunities for young people aged 16 and up to work with our team across comic production, events, and content creation. You can email us showrunners@mymatter.com to find out more. And we've got cohorts for like spring, so now, and summer, and then winter, and then in between opportunities, short-term opportunities as well. So definitely check that out. And yeah, thank you to our guests both for joining and joining in on this conversation. Our first one of the year. There's many more to come with Story X Story. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss all the rest that we've got coming for this season. And if you can, give us a 5-star rating and review because that helps us reach new listeners and fans of story discussions. We release episodes on Thursdays, and those will include video game discussions. We've got a roundtable coming up fairly soon, interviews with creative professionals and practitioners, as well as deep dives into stories across pop culture like this one. You can always give us a shout directly. Our email address is studio77@mymatter.com, and our website with links to subscribe is mymatter.com/storyxstory. So thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe and remember to start swanning and think about who you can be the Mary Poppins for in your life, which I'm going to go and have a think about right now. Take care, everyone.